Today I fucked up by showering my father in shiny disappointment. Obligatory, sorry for formatting. I am on mobile, and this actually transpired over the last few weeks. So, to start, my father is an exceptionally angry man. How he got such an excitable woman as my mom, I do not know. As we all know, COVID stole Christmas, and this year my husband and I elected not to see all the family this year and have a quiet one at home. Stop the spread. About a week before Christmas, I was thinking I had to make up for our absence with my mom, because of course she was sad not to see us and her grandbaby on Christmas Day. Plus, she has been taking care of my profoundly disabled uncle and dealing with my insane grandmother. My mistake, I decided to send my mom a glitter bomb. My mother loves glitter. I knew it would bring a giant smile to her face to open her shiny craft herb surprise. So not only did I send her a glitter bomb, but selected the triple glitter option for the extra joy. It was due to be delivered on Christmas Eve, but with the state of the USPS right now, this glitter bomb was delivered yesterday while my mom was at work. I just need to mention that this was addressed specifically to her and said Merry Christmas on it. Now, no one ever opens her mail. Unopened things often sit around for days before someone touches them. Yet, here I am sharing with you fine folk. My father opened the package. My father opened the package and had 3x the glitter rain down upon him after exploding in his face. I wish I was there to see it. As it was described by my brother, he turned purple in his rage, left the glitter all over, called my mom to yell at her about it. Don't worry, she called me at 4:30 this morning saying he deserved it for being a Scrooge on Christmas and she only wishes she was there. I can't tell him it was me. He is going to be furious with me forever. He already told my mom he was disappointed that someone would find that funny. Alternatively, today my father fucked up. TL, Doctor, my father opened my mom's gift and got a triple glitter surprise explosion to the face. This is awesome. Where did you get the glitter bomb from? Would love to send some to a few friends. May I suggest googling eco-friendly glitter bomb or biodegradable glitter bomb? Regular glitter is terrible for the environment. Eco-friendly or biodegradable glitter is honestly the only glitter people should be using. I found a few results on the first page of Google when I searched for it. I don't know the quality of their glitter bombs, so don't have a recommendation for a particular store. Yet another parent I'd kick out of my life if they were my relative. Your choice op, and I respect it, but God, I would not tolerate that shit in my own life. I try to do the courteous, but short thing with him. Obligatory hellos but not much more. Obviously there is more to the story of why probably shouldn't talk to him at all, but it's ultimately the best way for me to keep on with my mum. I don't think you fucked up. Your father, on the other hand, who illegally opened someone else's mail, well, maybe he just learned a lesson. Your father's an ass hat, and your mom's a saint. Yeah, he is. We don't go over often. He ruins the fun. Mom comes to us instead. Not to F you. It was a divine intervention to deliver poetic justice. We were just the vessel for delivery. Too bad it didn't capture video. Today I fucked up by accidentally writing a suicide note. This actually happened years and years ago when I was in 4th or 5th grade, but I just remembered about it today, so I thought I'd share. You see, I used to live in a town just outside of St. Louis, Missouri, so we were on the very edge of Tornado Alley. For some reason I developed a strange fascination and fear of tornadoes. I was paranoid. I still get paranoid. Even if there was only a slight thunderstorm, I'd be terrified that there would be a tornado, and throughout my childhood and time living there, I had many nightmares about tornadoes that I still remember to this day. Now that you understand my slightly irrational phobia of tornadoes, this takes place one day at my elementary school. The sky was so dark that it felt like night, and I was in class and could see out the windows at the rain pouring and the lightning and the sky becoming an ominous green color. I wasn't paying attention because I was so anxious about the possibility of a tornado on its way. Because of this, my child brain had nothing better to do than write a will, just in case I died in the tornado that I was positive was coming. I wrote the will on a note card which probably went along the lines of: my dog goes to my parents, my iPad goes to my little brother, everything else goes to my best friend, goodbye cruel cruel world. Yes, I was a very dramatic child. Long story short, no tornado came, at least not that day, and by the end of school the storm had let up and everything was fine. Obviously then, I wasn't going to die, so I no longer needed the will. I recycled the note card. A day or so passed when I get called into the counselor's office. I had no idea what this was about. For context, I was barely aware of what suicide even was at this point in my life. She showed me the note card and told me that someone had found it in the recycling bin and if I knew what it was. At this point was relieved I wasn't in trouble even though I didn't understand what was wrong, so I laughed. She told me she was relieved I was laughing and I told her the story. That's basically it. Not the most climactic story but for sure embarrassing to look back on. Too long didn't read. I thought I was going to be killed by a tornado, so I wrote a will. My school counselor mistook it for a suicide note. Funny, I wrote a will when I was a kid too. I purposely put in the note, "This is my will," even though I don't know what one is, so it wouldn't seem so morbid when my mom found it. Read tornado as tomato at the beginning. Was both confused and entertained. Because of the storm, I was terrified there would be a tomato. Funny, sweet and strangely wholesome. That was worth a read. Made me smile. Nice. This is great. I grew up in STL County, so the fear is fair. St. Charles had won a few years back. Today I fucked up by reading Lovecraft in an effort to fall asleep. I am currently dealing with the fallout of this very poor decision. I've been having some difficulty sleeping recently, but I found that if I read before bed, I usually get drowsy enough to fall asleep for an hour or two. I recently began reading the great old ones, the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft, and I've really been enjoying it. I heard that his work was foundational for modern horror, but up until this point, his writing had just struck me as somewhat eerie at best. Enjoyable to read, just not as spooky as I thought they'd be. I found that some of his stories could be a little dry, or perhaps too experimental for my taste, so I looked up which story I should read next. This is the fuck up. I look online and see a story called The Rats in the Walls. Sounds spooky, so I jump into it. Man, do I regret that decision. I am a fully grown adult man. I pay bills. I'm in a committed relationship. I do my own oil changes. I am also now completely covered in blankets to protect myself from the wrath of these imaginary rats. Arms are tucked in. Blanket is tucked under my feet. The works. Every sound and creak in my house is now the rats coming for me. Who needs sleep anyway? Too long didn't read. In an effort to fall asleep, I decided to discover the true meaning of Lovecraftian horror. Well, for God's sake, don't read the picture in the house. If you also want to have an irrational fear of paintings next, you should read Pickman's Model. Didn't come away with a fear of paintings, but a fear of tunnels. Why the fuck would you read Lovecraft, of all authors, to fall asleep? Why don't you inject a metric buckload of caffeine directly into your veins next time? It might be about as effective. Did you know that rats can climb up the pipes and into your toilet? You're welcome. Smiley face. Literally just sat on my toilet, pulled out my phone, and read your comment. My discomfort is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. I haven't laughed like that in a while, both for the original post and the response comment. I'm glad that my misfortune was able to bring you some joy.